Very pleased with the weekend performance. Both games, obviously, not easy to win at this level, so we'll take results however we can get them. Best part from a coaching staff standpoint is the fact that everyone who stepped on the field contributed, and that's a nice luxury that we're going to have all season because, with injuries and a depleted roster, we're going to have to count on everybody, and it's a testament to the players that they might not have saw a lot of time on Friday, but when they were called upon, they were ready to answer the call.
Talk about your defense this weekend. You guys only allowed 11 shots. Obviously, these two are part of the defense. Talk about what you guys did defensively to prevent the two teams you played from taking shots on your goalkeeper.
It's been a staple. Since Kim and I have been a part of this program, we've been very strong in the back. The most encouraging thing, especially with the two that are sitting up here today, this is Jackie Hall's first year playing center back. Sophie's been predominantly a left back her first 3 years. So the fact that the two of them have stepped in, and I have no problem saying after 2 games that this is easily the best center back pairing we've ever had at UB.
So you've made some positional changes, as you've mentioned. How have those looked so far this weekend? Obviously, you mentioned that it's the best that you've ever seen, but how about everybody else that you've changed positions?
Yeah, there's been quite a bit of changeover. To be fair, we've taken 2 attacking players, in Angel and Dana, and moved them to outside back. It just kind of goes to our mentality. We want to set the tone for games. We want to be the aggressive team. We want to attack, and we want to attack from all over the place. Jackie and Sophie here give us the ability to play out of the back with their decision making, their skill level, and then players, how comfortable Angel and Dana are on the ball. The fact that we are so good offensively in the back, I think makes it a little bit easier for them defensive-wise. And then just the overall discipline and shape. It's something we've worked on from day one. But again, it's the players that still have to, apply it for the game, and they're doing a fantastic job.
So Laura Dougal started off her career with 2 shutouts. Goalkeeping was kind of a question mark heading into the season.
Mm-hmm.
How has she performed so well, and what are you looking forward to the rest of the season with her?
Well, she's very fortunate that she has an unbelievable defense in front of her. She's not asked to do too much. But to her credit, we've done a great job foiling too much from teams being too dangerous. She's probably been called on in both games maybe 3-4 times max to come up with the save. And it's hard at that position. It's very easy to kind of tune out in games when you're not getting much action. And she doesn't do that. She's stepped up when she's been called upon, which has been tremendous. Again, she doesn't show the typical signs of any nerves for a 17, 18-year-old player. I see a big year for her.
On the other side of the ball, when you played Canisius, outshot Canisius 36-11. How do you plan on continuing that trend throughout the season?
Again, it's a big part of it's mentality. We want to attack, and we want to attack from every angle, every position, and that's set pieces. We want to take advantage of that. The goals will come. Obviously you want to put more in the back of the net, but the hardest part is creating those chances. It's encouraging when you see 36 on the stat sheet, all the set pieces we have. That's something for us to work on. We're going to keep getting better, and the goals will come. The girls keep creating chances. We'll find the back of the net.
Jack, you've been asked to switch positions. Talk about that transition a little bit this year.
It was actually pretty hard. In the spring, I just felt like there was so much to learn, where, center mid, I was just, always working hard, and I feel center back, it's very mental. You always have to, be directing everybody and just being part of it the whole time, and I thought the spring was pretty stressful for me when, first getting into it, but I'm actually pretty surprised that this preseason and when season started, how much more comfortable I feel. Every single game, I just, I actually really like this position now since I've played center mid my whole life, so it was a little rough in the spring, but I think it's transitioning pretty well.
Sophie, talk about, you've been here for 4 years, obviously. Talk about the defensive philosophy and how it's changed this year.
How it's changed? Well, we have 3 new players in the back, so it's been very different. And especially me going center back, having to direct them. But everyone's been adapting very well as Angel on the left. And on the right, there's either Dana. Kristen's been stepping in because Dana was injured. So I think they've been doing very well. We're very solid, and we talk to each other a lot, which helps a lot. So.
Jackie and Sophie, you can both kind of answer this. How much does it help that Coach Burke was on the staff last year? Obviously, when a new coach comes in, it's usually a whole new philosophy and an adjustment period. So, how much does it help that he was here last year and you kind of know him well?
I think it helped a lot that he knew our players throughout the 3 years or 2 years, depending on which player. But he knows our qualities, and that's why he was able to try different things. Like, let's say Jackie as a midfield, now she's center back, and he's been here, so he knew that she'd be good at center back. So.
And it was still a new coach. It was a brand new system and everything, and it took a lot to get used to. But I think we were very fortunate to have our assistant coach step up because we knew him, he knew us. So it was just kind of eased the nerves a little bit, especially coming into preseason and season, and it makes it a lot easier to trust the system and everything if you know who you're working with.
Coach, this is your first time as head coach after spending years as the assistant. How's the transition gone for you so far?
I've been fortunate with the staff and the players. It's been great. Something we're trying to stress this year, and they've risen to the occasion, is we got to trust the players. At the end of the day, our jobs, we can give them ideas in training sessions. We make substitutions, but at the end of the day, when it comes to the actual game and the performance, we have to trust these players. And they're doing a phenomenal job. Sophie talked on the fact that the communication has been so well. And as a staff, we've been very, very pleased with that. But again, the fact that Kim has been around the same amount of time as I have, her familiarity, and then bringing on Casey on staff, it's been a smooth transition. And again, we play a fun, attacking style brand. The girls are buying in. There's a trust, and it's going to be an exciting season.
Sophie and Jackie, both of you, talk about unveiling the new turf. From you guys were the first people to have a regular season game on the turf. Talk about how that was for you guys on Friday night.
It was good, but we practiced on it a bit before, and it was kind of hard to get used to the new turf because it's thicker. But no, I thought we did pretty well.
I thought it was cool to for our women's soccer, just be like, all right, this is the first game we have on the turf. Let's set the record for the rest of the school. All the other athletes be like, all right, we're winning. This is our home field. Set the pace for it.
Sophie, as a senior, how do you plan on bringing leadership, and what do you want to bring to the team as a whole?
On the field, I really want to talk a lot and direct people, and if it gets let's say a game gets hard, to push through it and let everyone know that me and Jackie and the back, we have everybody, and to always encourage everyone, never put my head down, and just encourage the whole team.
Coach, you talked about rotating a lot of players. Talk about your team's depth this year and how important that's going to be down the road.
Again, with the schedule, Friday, Sunday, it's a tough turnaround. And sure enough, Sunday, we had to call on players, and most of them had to play out of position, which is going to probably be a norm for us on come Sundays. Again, but we have to trust these players, and the fact that all these players stepped up, especially the ones outside their position and what they've trained at, that's another luxury that, going forward is that confidence now we have as a staff. We can look down at that bench, and we need that spark. It's good to know you can count on everybody sitting over there.
Some of your young players stepped up this weekend, especially Julia. Talk about what you've seen out of young players so far through 2 games.
Again, we've had a chance to touch on it before. Both Laura and Julia obviously are logging a lot of minutes. Julia had the game winner, first college goal on Friday. Again, it's just 17, 18-year-old freshmen that been there, done that. Or that's at least the way they portray it. The confidence those 2 athletes have, I think they've kind of earned the respect of their teammates right away. And again, we've, especially with Julia being on so many of our set pieces, she just had her soccer IQ allows her to be part of the decision making. And again, being a playmate type player, she makes the players around her better.
Sophie, how did it feel to beat 2 Big Four rivals this weekend to open the season?
It was good. It was a great way to start the season. It's really encouraging for everyone coming off the bench and on the field. It's just really encouraging to know that we started off well and we want to keep going like that.
Jackie, is there a difference defensively transitioning from a shorter goalie last year to a taller 6-foot goalie this year? Is there anything that you guys do differently? Do you let her call more balls? Is there anything that you do differently?
Not really. I get knocked down a little bit more because she gets there, but that's good. I mean, one of my friends' teammates is laughing because there was like the highlight video and she knocked me down like 2 or 3 times in it. But it's one of those things. She like apologized. I was like, no, if you're gonna win the ball every time, you knock me down every time. And with the shorter goalie, I didn't really have that problem. And so that I think is the biggest thing that I've noticed. And with her, it's really nice to get those like the saves that she stepped up to make. Those touches over the net were really important, and I don't know if a shorter goalie would have been able to get it. So I think it's really nice to have that height in those situations.
It's the first road trip of the season on Friday. Talk about what you guys have to do to improve heading forward.
Again, it's kind of something that the girls have kind of taken on, embraced this preseason. We talk about training uncomfortably because that's what going on the road is. It's a different environment. It's a break from our routine, especially with starting with 2 home games. Coming off preseason, you get in that routine. So for us, we have to have that mentality of what do we do well. And it doesn't matter if we're playing at home, playing on the road. Our focus always will be on what we do to be successful. And that's where our focus will be. Because we're going to have all sorts of challenges, especially on the road this year. But again, what these girls are capable of doing and the style that we're playing, as long as we trust and believe in what we're doing, we're going to be successful more than not.
Good. All right.
All right,
Thanks,
thank
Coach.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.